All right, we're back for our final lesson in the standard algorithm, and that's lesson 2.8. So I'm going to put that there for us. In 2.6, you learned the standard algorithm itself, multiplying a double-digit number by a single-digit number. In lesson 2.7, you practiced using those placeholders whenever you have double-digit numbers or larger numbers multiplied by double-digit numbers or larger numbers. So this lesson is all about tips and tricks when using the standard algorithm. So our first tip or trick says that whenever we are multiplying two numbers, put the smaller number on the bottom. So if I had 1760 times 21, and I just wrote it like that, awesome, my smaller number's on the bottom. Let's look at why it's easier to put our smaller number on the bottom. And we did go over this in class. So looking at this, you're still multiplying the same numbers. Because of the commutative property, we should have the same answer for both of these problems, but let's go ahead and multiply. So I have right here starting on my ones place, my 1 times my 0, I'm going to distribute again to all those numbers. 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 6 is 6, 1 times 7 is 7, 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, simple, multiplying by 1, that's our identity property, get the same number. Okay, now I got to switch over because I am done with that 1. I'm in the tens place now, got to put my placeholder. Now I'm going to multiply. 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 6 is 12, carry my 1, don't forget I'm adding that. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 1 is 15. 2 times 2 is 1, plus 1 is 3. Okay, you can even check your work here. I have two numbers I'm multiplying by, so I have two lines that I'm adding. Now I'm going to go ahead and add those numbers just so we have an answer. And I'm left with 36,960. Perfect. Okay, so let's see why multiplying with the larger number on the bottom is maybe a little harder. So 0, I'm going to distribute that 0 to both of those. So 0 times 1 is 0, 0 times 2 is 0. Done with my 0, so I'm going to mark it out. Move on to my next number. 6 times 1, remember I'm in my tens place, so I gotta put that placeholder. 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12. I don't have anything left to multiply on that top, so I can just go ahead and write 12. I'm done with my 6, gonna move on to my next place value, this hundreds place, so that means I need 2 zeros. 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2 is 14. So I'm going to write that down right there. Done with my 7. Now I'm going to switch my color again in my thousands place. So I need 3 placeholders. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. And I'm finally done. I made it through all my numbers. And marking your numbers out as you go like that can also help you see where you are in the problem. So now I have to add zeros all across the board. 6, 9, 6, and 3. Still got the same answer, but which one was easier? Definitely this one, okay? So writing that smaller number, you can even see, because I had 4 numbers in that second multiplying number, my second factor there, I had 4 lines of addition here. That's a lot compared to I could have just had 2. Okay, so that is my first strategy. Now I'm going to erase this. We're going to move on to strategy 2. Okay, strategy 2 is a strategy that's reminding you to use those placeholders. So it could be a habit that you get in. All it says is that sometimes if you're thinking of those placeholders, like we cross out our numbers, you can put an X in that place. So if I had 130 times 42. This one's a pretty simple one, so I'm probably only going to do one example on this one. So I'm going to multiply, use my distributive property here. 2 times 0, 0, 2 times 3, 6, 2 times 1, 2. Okay, done with my 2. Moving on to my tens place. So because I'm done with my ones place, I'm going to put an X there. 4 times 0, 0. 4 times 3, 12. Carry that 1. Don't forget it's being added. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And anytime there's an X in a problem, what they want you to see is that that X just represents nothing. So it's like I'm putting nothing there. So 0 plus nothing, 0. 6 plus 0, 6. 2 plus 2, 4. 5. Plus nothing is 5. So that's my final answer. Again, this is something you would have to get used to, using that X, but if you're struggling with placeholders, this is a good visual to see that, okay, I'm done with that place value. No more of that place value. So I got to put an X there. It would go on, so you would put as many X's as you needed depending on the numbers. So if I had 4 lines of addition, then I would have 3 of those lines that had X's in them. Okay, so that is our second strategy. So let me put a little 2 here just so you can find it in the video easy.